What? Hello, this is Buona from Buona.tv, and today I want to talk about a game I've been playing quite a bit of. If you've been following my channel over on twitch.tv/Buona, you probably know what game I'm talking about. No, I'm not talking about Path of Exile. I'm talking about Infinite Crisis. Infinite Crisis, which is based on the DC Comics Infinite Crisis universe. If you haven't read these books, I highly recommend you go read them. Check them out, see what's going on in all these different Earths and all these different universes. Anyway, this is a Dota-like game, or some of you call them a MOBA. MOBA. I hate that word so much, but I have to use it. Anyway, Infinite Crisis. And the reason for this video is I want to talk about some of the differences between what you may be used to in other MOBAs or Dota-likes. If you play League of Legends, if you play Dota 2, this is the video for you to kind of get a glimpse as to what the differences are between Infinite Crisis and those other types of games. So the first thing I'm going to discuss is the actual map. The traditional Dota-like games or MOBAs have a 3-lane map with a middle lane, top lane, and a bottom lane. And if you play Smite, you probably are used to middle, left, and right. So it's traditionally 3 lanes for the main game modes. Now, when Infinite Crisis first came out, a lot of you may have seen it. It came with a Dominion type map. It was a capture the point, so many points to capture. You know how League of Legends made Dominion popular. That was the first map they came out with. I'm not going to discuss that here because you probably already are familiar with that game mode. I'm going to talk about a map called Coast City. And Coast City is a 2-lane map with a giant jungle. It is 5v5 and it has a giant jungle with 2 lanes, with the top and the bottom lanes. Now the first thing you're probably thinking is like, what in the world is the meta for this game? Wow, I mean, is there a single jungler? Is there double jungles? Well, that's the actual thing that's developing. But the most common practice I've seen amongst the more competitive teams, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, if you watch this thing a little bit, you know, a few months from now it may change, but the current meta is a single top, 2 jungle, 2 bottom meta, and the jungle is split amongst 2 different people. And you know, some people take the top half of the jungle, some people take the middle half of the jungle, and there's an elite that they both share. So that's the current meta. And with another thing on this map, which it kind of leads me to my next point, are the objectives. There are capture points on this map called Coast City. Now, it's not Dominion capture points. These are capture points which actually have a purpose. They serve as the inhibitor system. So if you're used to playing Dota 2, if you're used to playing League of Legends, you know, if you blow up the inhibitor in League of Legends, you get super minions, if you will, in that particular lane. And in Dota 2, if you destroy, I believe, the barracks, I may be getting this wrong, you guys are going to correct me, you will be getting super creeps. Now in this game, you get super drones. So if you capture, there's 3 capture points, 2 of which are active right at the beginning of the match. Now the objectives are as follows. If you capture 1 point, you get a 10% bonus damage to drones. If you happen to capture 2 points, you get super drones in the top lane to help with the push. Now later on in the match, the top particular the top point becomes active, and if you get all 3 points, if you're stomping the team and you capture all 3 points, you get super drones in both the top and bottom lanes. So that aids the meta of this particular game. So that's what the capture points are for, which leads me into my next point. There's also this concept of vision. Now if you capture a point, you have a patrolling drone that moves around the jungle that the other team can't destroy and gives you vision periodically throughout the jungle. Now, why would you need that? Well, there are no wards. What? Whoa, boy, are you joking? Yeah, I'm absolutely serious. There are no purchasable wards. The only systems that are in place for vision are the camera, the bat camera, which you have to use as a stolen power, or what you probably know as a summoner spell in League of Legends. Now you get 3 of those with a cooldown, but you can't buy more. You also get what's called X-ray vision, which gives you temporary vision of what's going on around you, and it has a small cooldown on it. So those 2 combined with the patrolling drones are what's used for vision in this game. That's a big difference between what you're probably used to in League of Legends and in Dota 2, because you can buy wards in those games. Not the case here. So it's kind of a controversy. Some people are getting used to it. I, for one, am already used to it because I've been playing so much of the game. But if you're not used to it, that may be a shock to you when you come play Infinite Crisis. Another difference between this game and other Dota likes and MOBAs is that the map is actually destructible. There are several things on the map which you can destroy. There is a stolen power or summoner spell called Super Strength, which allows you to pick up certain items in the game, such as meteors, cars, trucks, hot dogs. I'm not joking. Yes, you can pick up a hot dog and a bus. Pick up a bus and throw it on the other people, or throw it on other objects to blow them up. The map does have some interactivity with it, and you can blow up certain items. You can actually move some things out of the way to create alternate paths, if you will. You know, it's not as, I don't know, I want to say it's not as granular as like a Dota 2 jungle, but it's very similar to that in that you can remove cars and take a shortcut within a route. There's also another ability, another stolen power called Consume. You can actually consume vehicles and move through alternate points. So the map is destructive, and that's something that you don't see in these other games. Now, another thing that's in this game that's not in League of Legends, or maybe a difference, is the runes and the rune pages systems. Now, League of Legends is famous for their runes and rune pages. You know, these are little things you can buy to make your character stronger, to customize certain aspects. What this game has, what Infinite Crisis has right now, is called an amplifier system. And these amplifiers right now are very basic. But the plan, which are going to be coming, hopefully will be coming this year or early next year, is to offer a customizable amplifier system to where you can modify not only stats, but the stats or the costs on certain items within the game. So you can customize the items that you buy in the store within the game. This is actually going to make it very, very different. It's probably going to change a lot about the champions and their balance and what's going on and how to properly use them. It's something that's definitely needed in the game. But that's not completely fleshed out yet. If you go play Infinite Crisis right now, you're going to see a bunch of preset amplifier sets, if you will, for each role. And you can choose one of those at the beginning of the match during character selection. So that's one of the differences. Dota 2 obviously doesn't have anything like this. Dota 2 is heavily based on items and itemization. It doesn't have a rune or rune pages system. Although I think as of the last update, they are offering some changes to that. Crafting, I haven't looked into that, but there is some additions being made to Dota 2 in that area. So this is one difference. And the last thing I want to talk about, I may think of more as I go on, but the last thing I want to talk about are the items and how they're built. This is very similar to actually Smite. If you played the Smite MOBA, you know that you buy an item and then you upgrade it through tiers and get various bonuses with that. It's the same system here. It's not like League of Legends, it's not like Dota where you combine items and recipes to build better items. In this game, you buy a base item and then you upgrade it through various tiers. And it is definitely something I'm used to because I did play Smite for quite a while. But if you haven't played Smite and you've played League of Legends and you're used to building items from other items, you're going to have to get used to this tiered upgrade system as the items go up and down the tiers, and different level items will get you better stats. So the game is still very young. I highly recommend you go check out a website that I frequent a lot called donbase.com. Donbase has everything about the champions, the items. If you want to get what the champions are, what they do, their abilities, their ability sets, guides, builds, anything. Donbase.com, number one place to go. And if you guys do need a beta key for this, I have several. Turbine has hooked me up with a lot of beta keys. I have a ton of beta keys. So if you want a beta key, let me know. What's the best way to let me know? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I guess I'll try to disperse them in the comments somehow. But usually I disperse them on my Twitch stream. I'm trying to stream Infinite Crisis on Tuesday and Thursday nights, Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Time. And you can come by my live stream. I give them away there. And yeah, if you guys want to give this game a try, definitely I can hook you up with a beta key. All right, this is Buona from Buona.tv. I want to make a shortish, I didn't want to make a super long video, but a shortish video as to what the differences are between Infinite Crisis and other MOBAs. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.